Oh no, I'm going to hell. I bypassed my garage door safety sensor switches. You guys hear me out before I get too much criticism. I live out here, there's not too many people around. It's pretty much rural country area. So I don't have any small children and I don't have any pets outside that are staying around here. And the garage door, it's right above me here. I'll show you in a minute. It does have a secondary sensor limit. Like if it puts too much pressure down and senses something, it will go back up. So I'm not totally being unsafe, but I want to explain why I did what I did. So stay tuned. I'll show you. All right. So it's a little afternoon, but anyway, from about 8 o'clock in the morning all the way till 5 in the evening, this garage door faces this area south. And as the sun comes in, clear up, you can see the line here where the back of the truck sits. It gets in the way of these sensors. And I put little, the sensors that are typically mounted down here for safety. If you go by and you trip it, the garage door will come back up. So these sensors here, okay, so what I did, I mounted them about head height for me up here. I just moved them up. And what I did was I left all the wiring in place and tacked it here. And the main reason for doing that is if somebody wanted to move them back down and be in compliance, to our overlords for safety, they could do that within just a couple minutes. But for me personally, I didn't run them all the way over and to join them together like a lot of people do, simply because I like the height. When I walk by here, it indicates I can still trip it with my head and the garage light will come on. So I like that, plus my wiring wasn't all up in the wall and these will stay cleaner up here. But what it does is by mounting it up that high, it gets it out of this sun infiltration that comes in to the garage. So another thing I tried, I know people will criticize me, but I did try outlining this with the tube, the little blackout tube. I still had issues. I took this sensor, which is the amber side. One's the receiving, one's the sending. And I switched it out on the opposite end with the green sensor. And it still had the issue. And I think it's because of the angle from day to night. So this is what I did. It may help somebody else if you can safely do that. And the only other thing that would permanently fix it for me is if they make a sensor that sunlight cannot interfere with. It's strong enough to overcome that and it's affordable. Let me know. I'll promise you I would buy that sensor and put it in. But these are relatively new. It's a belt drive. Here it is, Chamberlain Whisper Drive. So it's not that old of a garage door opener. And those sensors did not work. Here's the one on the east side. It's green, but everything is working great now. I can actually open and close my garage door with no issues. So I'll just show you here real quick. Here we are. Look at that. I can actually open and close my garage door, which is something that we need to do, right? We can't. I've had to get out of my truck, stand by the sensor, shade it out, try to get back in, try to park the truck close. And it's just not practical to build an entire awning or something over your garage to shade that just so those little trip sensors work, in my opinion. All right, so there you go, guys. It's not professional advice. I'm not a safety advisor. I don't advise you do that. I'm just showing you what I do, and maybe it'll help somebody else make a decision on what they're going to do. You can consult many others. Like I said, don't take my opinion for it. But I know one thing now. I do have a 15-year-old daughter, and I don't have to worry about her calling me, at 2 p.m. at work because grandma's here to pick her up, and they can't get the garage door to close. So they'd have to hold the button on the door. You can't override it by holding it, and as soon as it gets shut, you can let off. But then you got to exit a different door, right, and get a key and lock that door. And it's just a pain in the hind end. So if you've had this issue, I sure can relate. I empathize with you, and don't let the naysayers bring you down. So there's always a situation. Everything is unique. Now, for the most part, you never want to do this. If you can fix it without doing a bypass, great. But if you got to do what you got to do, you got to live your life, right? You can't be held hostage by a garage door. So that's all I wanted to share today. You guys take care. Peace out. Thank you. Leave a comment below.